Breaking news, special at-home edition of Seattle Seahawks Today as we have a trade. Your Seattle Seahawks have traded corner Mike Jackson to the Carolina Panthers in exchange for rookie linebacker Michael Barrett out of the University of Michigan. The Seahawks had a big need at the linebacker position. We have talked about it over and over and over again on this channel over the last several months as you had the injuries this offseason to Dotson and Baker. Baker gets dinged up again. We don't know if Baker's going to be back for week one. Tyree Snipes been looking good, but you need another body involved. Now they found their guy, and it's a guy that Mike Macdonald is very familiar with and knows very well who he coached at the University of Michigan. And then on top of that, folks, of what's intriguing about all this, moving on from Mike Jackson, what have we been telling you for months on this channel was that the outside corner spot was a battle between Tre Brown and Mike Jackson. I have been very adamant. I have told you. I said I felt like Tre Brown was going to beat out Mike Jackson to win that job, and it would be a loser leaves town situation where whoever didn't win that job was going to end up getting traded here because the Seahawks like their young corners and they don't want to take away opportunities from developing those guys. Fast forward to today, that's exactly what happened. We know what the hell we're talking about here on Seahawks Today. If you're not subscribed, you're missing out because we are calling stuff before it happens. We've been doing it all off season long, every single move. I know some of you guys get tired of the news and rumors segments we do all the time. We're always ahead of it. Every single one we have called ahead of time here on the channel. That's why you subscribe. Look, I'm at home. It's my off day. I don't care. You got to lock us in and you got to subscribe because you're going to be aware of this stuff when it happens ahead of time. We are the most informed Seahawks channel on the internet. You got to be subscribed today. Know what's happening ahead of time. Our Seahawks Today subscribers, they're not surprised by this news because we've been saying it was going to happen for quite some time. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. All right, let's get to know Michael Barrett a little bit further here. The 2024 7th-round pick out of the University of Michigan. Another Wolverine on the roster. Hail to the victors valiant. Hail to the mighty. Best fight song in all of college football, by the way. National champion this year under Jim Harbaugh. Was a two-time third-team All-Big Ten selection in 2022 and in 2023. And I got some fascinating notes here for you on this front. Mike Macdonald, his DC in 2022. But think about this, all right? Take this even a step further. Seahawks linebackers coach Chris Partridge was Barrett's linebackers coach at Michigan in 2023 and his position coach when he played safety from 2018 to 2019. And there's more. Jay Harbaugh was the special teams coordinator at Michigan from 2018 to 2019 in Barrett's first 2 years when Barrett was a special teams contributor. So 3 guys on the Seahawks staff have worked with him closely for a long time. They know this guy. More on Barrett, folks. 6-year guy, starting linebacker from 2022 to 2023, backup linebacker in 2021. He was the starting Viper in 2020 in the COVID season, a hybrid safety linebacker role. The DC at the time there at Michigan, Don Brown, he got fired after the season, so the Viper role was eliminated. So Barrett moved to linebacker for 2021 as a second string. Very athletic, this guy is. Was a high school quarterback, played the most games ever of any player in Michigan football history, known as an ultimate team guy. I love everything about that. We're going to go over more on Michael Barrett, go over his scouting report, get some statistics for you, and a few other things here in just a moment. But first, I want to know, how would you grade the trade for Michael Barrett? Moving on from Mike Jackson, A, B, C, D, or F. I love everything I've read about this guy. And you got a position of need, and you moved on from Mike Jackson, who you didn't need. I think it's got to be at least an A-. That's my grade. What's your grade? Wait in the comment section to let us know what your grade is. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the best place to go for last-minute tickets for the best seats and the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite team play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching for thousands of tickets. And you might stumble upon a super deal. If you see a super deal, you got to jump on that, folks, because you're not going to want to pass on the savings that you're going to get from this super deal. They also have a new feature where you can customize your spot, where you can find that seat for you. They give you the visuals so you can see what the seat looks like. And I got to tell you, it's a game changer on Game Time. And whether you're going to a Seahawks game, maybe it's a Mariners game, maybe it's the Seattle Storm game, they got the prices listed. You pick your seat, see if you like that seat or not, and boom! Just like that, you're checking out Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. Download Game Time today. You'll be glad you did. All right, let's get to know our guy, Michael Barrett, a little further here. Here is some notes via Bleacher Report on his scouting report entering the 2024 draft this past April. Has good speed and improvement skills to help in coverage, allowing him to get his landmarks when spot dropping, carry most tight ends up the seam, and mirror and match most tight ends. Good eye discipline and zone coverage to locate threats, uses his hands to disrupt routes, accelerates well to help close in coverage or when unblocked as a blitzer. Physical run defender who isn't afraid to throw his body around. So all those things, very good when it comes to Michael Barrett on that front. Those are the positives. Here's the negatives that Bleacher Report said. Shaky instincts versus zone runs, will get caught up out of position or out of his gaps. Takes on block square instead of an edge against the run. Lacks upper body strength to get extension versus offensive linemen and gets stuck on blocks. Will get pushed around as a run defender. Undersized, so good offensive lineman will absorb and impede by his contact when coming downhill. His stats in 2023, 15 games played, 65 total tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 2 pass breakups, and 3 forced fumbles. And I got to tell you, I think he's going to be on this 53-man roster because you look at the options. It was slim pickings, slim chickens for the Seahawks when it came to the backup linebacker spot after Tyrese Knight. You're sure as hell not going to pay John Radigan $3 million. At least I don't hope so. John Radigan very well might make the 53-man roster, but he's got to take a pay cut. He's got to go down from $3 to $1 million. And then some of the other guys that are competing for those spots, like, you know, Patrick O'Connell and some of these others, like, there's just not any answers. This is for trying to find a short-term fix. This was a good job by John Schneider and Mike McDonald, and a guy they're familiar with. Taking it a step further, the PFF numbers, you're going to like these folks. They're pretty dang good. Last season, pass rush grade of 92.3. Okay, I see you. You got my attention. Run defense grade, 74.3. Coverage grade, 72.0. So although that scouting report from Bleacher Report says he wasn't great in coverage, the PFF grades are comparable. You can work with those grades across the board. Especially that coverage grade 72, I can work with that, especially when I'm getting out of the pass rush grade of a 92.3. Overall grade an 84.3 last season, and he missed a total of 9 tackles last season. Bleacher Report had this to say: Barrett is a natural football player, but he's too small to play linebacker and not athletic enough to play safety. He projects as a potential special teams ace with some defensive responsibilities in dime situations. And that's when the Seahawks would potentially need him, would be those dime situations. So I like it. I think it's a good fit for what Seattle was looking for, a play they're familiar with this coaching staff. What's your one-word reaction to the Seahawks trading Mike Jackson? My one word is satisfied. I am satisfied with what Seattle pulled off today. I think this is going to work. This makes a ton of sense. Subscribe now for continuing Seattle Seahawks coverage, even on my off day. Hanging out home, brought out the ring light, made sure to get you guys a video. You got to subscribe. Join us for our watch party Saturday night. Seahawks Browns live beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you then. Subscribe now for free. Thanks for joining us.